I would like to acknowledge that this video is being filmed on the traditional lands of the Wurrundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. I pay my respects to their elders past and present, and extend that respect to any Aboriginal, Torres Strait Islander or First Nations people who may be watching this video today. Hi everyone, my name is Steph, this is the Novelty Corner and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to recommend some romance books with red covers. I will say this is not an extensive list and I had to narrow it down just to, I think it was 5 titles in the end, just to keep this video relatively short. You know, if you always want a part 2 of red books, let me know. But I am hoping to do a series based on colours just because why not? It's fun. I will also say I was once upon a time a bookseller who did get the question, have you got this book? Its cover was blue. So I have been there and I understand that pain. All right, so the first book on my list is Love and Other Disasters by Anita Kelly. This is a beautiful, beautiful story. It is another baking reality show romance book. I seem to keep collecting these books and really enjoying them despite the fact that I hate reality TV. And this is about Landon and Dahlia who meet on the set of this TV show and they're both there for very different reasons. Landon comes out with their personal pronouns on TV, which causes some conflict with his family, and Dahlia is there to reinvent herself. She needs a break and a change, and the two end up connecting, and it is absolutely gorgeous. One of my favorite scenes is where they both crash this wedding, and it is hilarious and just an absolutely delightful scene. Throughout the book, they deal with transphobia, they deal with anxiety, and they deal with uncertainty about their future, but it never feels oppressive and it never feels like something that is going to be too heavy for we, the reader, to carry. It is really about them moving past that and finding their happiness. Anita Kelly is just doing amazing work with her books and I've loved everything that I've read by them, so definitely high up there on my list of things to recommend to people all the time. Then there's Butterfly Swords by Jeannie Lynn, which is a historical romance that's a little bit different and I absolutely loved it. This was one that I think Brie recommended to me to read. It is about Princess Ailey who flees her own wedding. The only thing she takes with her for protection are her butterfly swords, and then she ends up running into Ryam, who is a barbarian warrior who happens to save her when she is drugged and nearly kidnapped. And it's about the two of them making their way in the world in the face of the decisions that they've made. I loved this for its historical romance elements, the fact that it is set in a completely different time period, in a completely different place in the world, but also it has a lot of action in it, which you don't always get in historical romance, which helps me as a reader because I am an action reader for sure. Then there's Everything for You by Chloe Lisa, which is Bergman Brothers book 5. This is a slow burn enemies to lovers sports romance and it is an absolute delight. You have Gavin and Oliver who really have this acrimonious relationship and they both end up co-captains for their team for the year and basically get told to pull their head in. This book features anxiety representation, it features chronic pain representation, you have a really fantastic grumpy sunshine dynamic in this book. It is also age gap. It is absolutely one of my favorite books in the series. It's in my top 2 and I just adored their relationship and the way that they finally moved from being enemies to lovers in a way that felt very natural. It's steamy and it's funny and it's an all-around great time because you have so many characters in this world who are just so easy to love and who you want to know more about. Then there's Start a War by Elle Thorpe, which is the first book in a trilogy, so they do end off on cliffhangers, but I absolutely love this cover for the book and it is very, very pretty. So this is the story of Bliss, whose brother is murdered and she ends up inheriting his rundown dive bar, but then also discovers that he happens to also own a very exclusive sex club that is currently being co-managed by her brother's best friend. So Bliss ends up coming into this world that she is very unfamiliar with and having to learn the ropes very quickly. It is a white shoes dark romance, so not only do you have Nash, her brother's best friend, but you also have Rath, who is the heir to the local MC club, and you have Vincent, who is an assassin for hire who's quite psychopathic in his tendencies. So there are a lot of dark themes in this book, so I would highly, highly suggest checking all the content warnings before you pick it up. The first book does end on a cliffhanger. It is only 3 books long though, and I am so excited to continue this series because I loved all of these characters. And then finally, there is Gifting Me to His Best Friend by Katie Robert, which is a book that I absolutely loved from her. It is part of her Touch of Taboo series. It is very short, it's novella length, and it's about Grayson and Emma, who are in an absolutely happy marriage, and every Christmas they go away with their best friend Derek and they spend the holiday season together and they are as close as any 3 people can be. And then Grayson and Emma decide that this year Grayson should gift Emma to Derek for the weekend that they're away. And what this forces them to explore is the fact that actually Grayson and Derek have this attraction to one another that they've never really addressed, and they have to address it. It never feels like anyone is the third wheel in this relationship, despite the shortness of the novella and the themes that they explore. What does it mean to be in this polyamorous relationship situation, and how do we protect all of our feelings while also still making sure that we have the best possible outcome? So I absolutely love this book. So those are recommendations for 5 books with red covers. In the comments, I would love to know if you've read them, or what is your favorite romance book with a red cover? There were plenty of other books that I could have picked. Like, I'm looking at my shelves now going, oh, I could have used that as well, and I could have used that as well. And I tried to just pick some things that I haven't talked about as much recently, just for some variety. But yes, I'm always very happy to do a second round. I'd also love to know, what colour covers would you like to see me recommend next? So you can always leave that down below as well. I hope that wherever you're in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.